switch whispers here. Back with a PlayStation 5 HDMI. So first thing, because we don't see anything inside the port, doesn't look damaged at all, we just check the pins and look at that. The one telltale sign I see as well is this plastic is supposed to be all the way into that metal. So it's pushed out. So usually what happens is this plastic is very weak and it pushes back, and that damages this very cheap, weak soldering from factory. Good job, Sony. Look at this. Look at this piece of crap job they do. Unreal. People are paying and waiting because these things are scalped and paying out their butts for this shitty Sony job. Okay, so we got a new intro for the channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. A little bit of switch whisper done by my Turkish friend here. Okay, so we're just gonna put low melt on it. Oh, I've got the wrong tip on. Just gonna put a low melt on it and get this going. Oh, we're zoomed in, that's what's going on. Let's zoom out a little bit. So now ideally we want to push that plastic back in so we have a little bit more room to work with here. I've noticed a bit of an uptick in my channel as well. Thanks to all you guys for your likes, comments, subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. Anything you do on my channel, even just watching the video the entire way through, is very helpful for me, as we would like to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. That's kind of the first goal post that we want to get to. So let's push this back in a little bit. Well, maybe that's as far as it goes. Maybe it's just me, I felt like it goes in farther. But maybe my eyes deceive me today. And the trick with these PlayStation 5s, I'll tell you guys, is there's this little guy right here. This little capacitor. We want to avoid this guy at all costs. So I'll show you my tricks around that. Get some low melt going on here. And then I want to make sure that I don't have too much low melt once I get there. And I actually twist this so it's aiming downwards. So even that's maybe a little bit too much low melt on there. So I'm going to try to take some off and put it over here, because I don't want much. And I'm just going to flip this around so I'm just touching with just the tip, because otherwise you get your heel in there, the back side of this, and You can do it this way if you come around the side, but it's tough because you don't want to hit that guy. You want to just stay away from it with low melt, with the heat, everything. So that's all you gotta do is connect it. Kind of just pulling it and dragging it there. That's good enough. So that's how I do it. To get the low melt and still staying away from that. Because I mean, you can just replace it or it'll work without it. I've seen that where other shops do this repair, and if they knock that off, they just leave it. I recommend to replace it, otherwise people with expensive TVs could have issues in 4K. Well, we didn't really apply any extra heat, but luckily the PlayStation board doesn't need too much extra heat, because as you can see, they've done a really shitty job at putting this thing together. It keeps us in business, so I'm not like completely complaining about it. I've done a lot of these compared to the Xboxes. So I get people ask me, you know, which one's a better console, which one they'd recommend me buying if I were to buy. I say the Xbox is definitely the one. Now the one thing that Xbox we see a lot for is power supply. So make sure that keep it in a well ventilated area and make sure that you're doing cleaning it out often so it can stay lower temperatures, because I'm guessing that's the major factor. But also you can have it on a surge protector, that will help as well. Tilt it just a little bit so you guys can kind of grasp what I'm doing here, but you just want to wait for the heat to penetrate the surface. And I like to do both sides. Like, you could just do this from the bottom, but I like to do both sides. I've just found it makes it a lot easier for extraction. And I've just got a little tip on here, so the farther down the tip you use, the more heat there is. Although I know I usually have an issue with this side because I'm trying to, again, stay away from things like these guys. There we go. Once you see it starting to flow around like that, then you know it's actually going into that via, because that's where you want it. Okay. To the other side. Normally I think we're a little more zoomed out than this, but I think we're trying a new distance here, and I think I like it. A little bit closer for you guys to see in case you're viewing on your phones or maybe a tablet, a little smaller screen. Better get that out of there. Make sure I'm utilizing this low mount as best I can. It's not cheap for what it is. I was thinking, what if I could just find like a wholesale amount, you know, of low mount, and just cut it, cut little chunks of it or something. I don't know. It'd be cool, just have like a brick, and I can just keep kind of dunking into it. It's pretty good. I kind of mess with it a little bit there just to make sure it flows in there nicely. And then again, we're doing this from above. My preferred method. Oh yeah, we're at 460 from last time, so I'm gonna actually just leave it at that. And see. Sorry about that. See how quick this goes. There we go. Quite quick and easy, actually. You know, we're always learning. And sometimes you have to just readjust when you learn something new. It might be tough at first, but just gotta readjust. That extra heat's helping for the wick process as well. I always do the inside board side first, so that, see, because even there, didn't quite get it. See, is this guy? didn't quite get it. Let's get a little extra heat. Nice. I'm just going to finish these. Again, this is the trick here, is to stay away. Right? I remember I had a technician who was learning how to solder, and he asked me, what's your trick? I mean, how do you do the PlayStations without knocking that little capacitor out of the way? And I said, you just don't touch it. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, just don't touch it, that's all. It's not as difficult as you might make it out to be in your mind, when it's pretty simple. Just don't touch it. And that means a little bit extra precision and care. I have, you know, been a little careless, and even while cleaning, knocked that guy out of place, because it's very small and flimsy, so if you put too much pressure on it, it'll just pop off there. And in that case, I think I ripped a little bit of the pad from one side, but I was, you know, I managed to recover it. But what it taught me was patience. That, you know, I was going too fast, excuse me, or I was, you know, just in a rush mentally or something. And this is a job that you just need to take your time so that you don't do stuff like that. But at the same time, efficiently, you know, working efficiently and getting it done in an efficient time manner is also important. This console just came in today, and we're gonna have it out today because that's what customers like. They want service done today. In most cases, they want it done yesterday. I hear it all the time. This console's been sitting for months. I've been meaning to bring it to you. And, you know, so then that just says, usually what that's saying is, I meant to get this fixed months ago. So here as well, stay away. It seems there might not be enough heat or enough flux. That's one of the things, so I'm just actually realizing that now. The pad size here compared to Microsoft, Sony. Beef up your pads, guys. Beef up your pads. Because that's probably what's happening. Microsoft's pads are twice the length of this. You know, they're long, they're like that. They're quite long. Let me see if I have one with the HDMI removed. I don't. But this is Xbox One, S, 1S, probably. Look at the length. Look at the length. Let me see if I can measure this. Look at the length. You know? That's pretty significant length compared to these little guys. Look at those little guys. I'd say they're almost a third the size. That is horrible. That's why I just discovered, please pay me, R&D, Sony. I trademark the find or whatever you do. I don't know how that works. Maybe I should just contact them. If anyone from Sony sees this, get your lead engineer to contact me. My email's in the description. And speaking of which, you know, we do offer a ship-in repair. Especially for Canadian customers, we have a free shipping option. If you are from the United States, you're liable for your shipping costs. Let's see if we have one of these here. I do not. I'm gonna grab one. Turn down my temp. I think with this new tip, the nozzle, I am noticing I have to bump up the temperatures. So because it's angled, we're losing some temperature. But it's okay. We're learning every day. That's what matters. So yeah, these aftermarket ones, you can tell right here, they have a bracket. It comes out, it protects. It does a protect. See this? Is this Sony? Yeah, this is Sony. This is Sony. Sony does not do a protect. Goodness gracious me. If I could just get this in view. Oh my god. Sony does not do a protect. It gives you these two tiny little tabs. What the hell is that? That's the protection from pushing the port through the port enclosure? Is those two little tabs? You're giving this to consumers? Like, I mean, come on. They're humans we're talking about here. If they can push, pull, or smack it, they will. Unreal. The Xbox ones, they don't even have any plastic showing anymore. Like, not just heat protected, but also all the plastic's enclosed in metal. So, I mean, good luck pushing that through. The only thing I've seen with the issue with that is then you get people that are forceful enough that they're going to rip the pads. They're going to push so hard, they're going to push that thing out. and it's going to rip the pads. And so there is always a downside to over engineering, but like, come on, 2 little clips, that's it. That is just ridiculous. There we go, they're shiny. Couple more there weren't shiny. Shining pretty good. 10-second countdown. And I think we've melted enough plastic for today. Yeah, I mean, we can tell it's a little bit off right there, but I don't think they're bridged. I do not believe they're bridged. We can double check that, but I don't believe they're bridged. Let's zoom in. Yeah, there is, let's check this angle. Yeah, so there's a hair of room there in between. We could straighten it out. But it's not going to make much of a difference. This is the only place I see. I thought it might have been bridged right there, but it's just flux reflection. Flux reflection. Yeah, it could be those feet weren't perfect. Let's get it right up on the angle. That's about as angled as I can get it. Yeah, looks okay. Let's check those with the meter and continuity. Then we can say for sure they're not bridged. No. No bridge. There is no bridge. It does seem a little crooked though. You know what? If in doubt, move out. So I'm guessing this left side, if it comes back, it should sort of line up a bit better. There we go. That's looking happy. Could have just been the pressure I was applying was uneven. Or maybe I let go too early. Either way, that looks much nicer. Perfect. As Northridge would say, it's better than factory. Solid. Every one of these is solid. Whoa. And as always, we give a 1-year warranty with our soldering. But I trust my work. I've had none of these come back for warranty. Unless they were physically damaged again. Which even in those cases, sometimes I'm lenient. Unless there's pad work that needs to be done. Okay, let's fill the vias, test it, and we're done. I do have a cool noose sort of repair coming in as well. Some earbuds that we're going to try to fix. Sony XM4 earbuds. And we're just replacing batteries, so I mean it shouldn't be too difficult. I don't mind doing this, just sliding back and forward, and it'll actually connect on top here. It'll sort of make a connection to solidify this port. I had someone that used to come back. He came back I think 3 times or 2 times because he was just too much force when pushing the HDMI port in. And when you use too much force, it can cause damages, right? But he was, saying it was our job. That was bad. And finally I realized that I should do that, sliding back and forth. It adds an extra sort of strength barrier. That was also, it happened more when I was first starting to do this, like full time. So I was still developing some techniques as well. Practicing, a lot of practicing. There we go. Let's clean up and test. So again, that little capacitor, just don't touch it. Look, it's right there. Just don't touch it. Okay. So we'll do a minimal sort of reassembly, just to test. Let me switch the camera over as well. Okay. Let's get this out of your guys' way. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do real quick. Oh, we can just get rid of that. We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, perfect. Don't really need this, but might as well. I don't think we really need the Blu-ray drive either, but let's just plug it in. Because all we're looking for is an image. And if we see that, we're good. Okay, let's get our HDMI. Then go into testing mode. Let's see, why do we not have our video capture? Okay. Now you guys can see I've just plugged this one in. Well, it's another weird console. Waiting for white light. There we go. We processed this one. Switch whips were. Catch me on the next one. Have a good one.